global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Global Happiness Today YouTube channel. So, a few minutes ago, there have been pickets of different groups and organizations planning to hit the street over hunger in the land in the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu led administration. But one of such that caught the attention of many is the standpoint of the Hausa leaders who have decided to advise their kinsmen over the protests or over the moves being made by the Fulanis and many other groups. We're going to find out what it is as many Nigerians are coming up with reactions. Don't forget that some few minutes ago, the Labour have actually said to contact all the Labour workers nationwide, and they are telling them to stay on alert and standby as they be getting directives on whether to be going on indefinite strike. All of this are going to get in a moment. But before we go to the newspaper, kindly subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it to set the notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Let's start with what's going on in the north. A Hausa socio-cultural group under the umbrella of Hausawa Sansa Development Association, otherwise known as HTDA, has raised an alarm alleging that some Fulani people are plotting to instigate some protest against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government. And the group, which made the allegation in a statement dated sometime in July 9th, signed by Katum Alumbe Jitami, warned all Hausa youth across Nigeria against participating in this alleged planned protest, asking Hausa youth to be wary and vigilant of this plot. The statement read, and I quote, "By this call, the youth are enjoined to shun every entries at them to join in the protest. This is so because the motive is self, because the Fulanis are not the ones in control of power at the presidency now. It was this same tactics that they employed to ruin the then government of Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan and to bring Buhari to power. Over 7 million of Hausawa were brought down within the 8 years rule of Buhari. They forbid protest against Buhari's when Nigerians genuinely called for it, citing that the religion that it was not in favor to protest against the government of its leaders. Now, the question is, has it changed? This we must not forget. And the Hausawa Sansa is hereby dissociating itself from this protest in all its ramifications. We have nothing to do with it whatsoever, and we are calling on all native nationalities of Nigeria to similarly dissociate themselves from these plans against our dear native land. We once again pledge our loyalty to the federal government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and pray for God's guidance and protection over him, his family, and the government of Nigeria. We equally pray for the Chief of Defense Staff and the teams of his military for more wins on their side as they tackle the issue of terrorism, banditry, and all manner of felony against the Nigerian state. We pray for the peace and the well-being of Nigerians." Report has it that just very recently, the former federal lawmaker and human rights activist, that Senator Shehu Sani, had alleged that there were plans by other political forces to use former President Muhammadu Buhari to undermine the government of President Tinubu. And during an interview, Sani alleged that there are indications of a political realignment underway in the north, aimed at mobilizing support against President Tinubu's government. He also claimed that certain political forces are seeking to exploit President Buhari's influence as a rallying point to galvanize opposition and potentially destabilize the current administration. Sani said, and I quote him, "It is a tradition, a culture, a norm, or a ritual that each time you have a Salah celebration, prominent people do visit the former president of this country. But I must clear the air by making a point. First of all, there is evidence of rallying of the forces, regrouping of political forces from the north, trying to use former President Buhari as a rallying point in order to evict the government of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu." Nigerians have reacted. Take one or two look at this more, objectively. This one here roots. Will they work? The call warriors are there to quench whatever. What ended BLM movement to USA? hijacked. How about in France? Hijacked too. The last NSAS was also hijacked. How many of the released prisoners have been recaptured? Common sense should tell us that any nationwide protest where blacks are involved will be hijacked, as an average Nigerian are opportunists. Are the business owners in Nigeria ready for their businesses to be looted? Security operative might not even be needed. Man know what should do with what they need with just 3 koboko. Any gathering of more than 20 persons, they should do the needful. Funny though. Okay, but let's look at this holistically. There's something they said that caught my attention. They said anytime the ruling is not in the favor of a particular set of persons, they want the people to hit the streets. But can we look at this objectively? I, I, I don't believe we should go for any protest because unfortunately, every protest we've done in Nigeria has a way of always being hijacked at some point. It goes wrong somehow. I don't know how, but it always goes backfires. Sometimes business owners, their shops get looted. They lose more than ever. Even when you lock your shop, they'll just break it and loot it. So I feel we should find a way around this. Just fairly recently, the Nigerian Labour Congress talked about the issue of indefinite strike. They actually wanted minimum wage to be 250,000 naira. See, except we want to tell ourselves a lie. Nigeria is heavily indebted. If you're talking about minimum wage of 250,000 naira, it looks very unrealistic and unreasonable. Yes, some persons will say, what about our politicians? What they take home, is this reasonable and realistic? Of course not. I would have even preferred for us as a country, as a people, to rally around the president and tell him cost of governance has to reduce. It just has to reduce. These guys need to make sacrifices, both lawmakers, judiciary, and even politicians that are in the sector of the economy should make deliberate attempt to reduce cost of governance, even reduce that salary if need be. But increasing the minimum wage to 250,000 naira with inflation to cause super hyperinflation, with inflation already subsisting. Now, if you increase the minimum wage of civil servants, what about those who do not have jobs? They will still go to the same market where inflation have taken bite. This is just my personal opinion. Protest will be hijacked. Hitting the street may not work. At some point, we'll get it wrong. Just hope the president and those who are actually at the corridor of power will feel the pulse of Nigerians. There's hunger in the land. They need to be able to take it up and see how they can bring us out of this. Let's go wrap it up. Let's meet in our conversation. What's to take? Have a nice time. God bless you. Bye.
Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global.